Okay, if I'm being honest, I don't have anything witty to say for the intro to this. I just want to jump straight on into talking about this movie, so here we go. So, Avengers Endgame is the sequel to Avengers Infinity War, as well as the culminating movie for the whole MCU. I mean, this is the big one, ladies and gentlemen. When Infinity War left off, our heroes were, shall we say, in a bit of a bad way. The evil Titan Thanos succeeded in his plan to wipe out half of all life in the universe, and now we're basically watching the Avengers deal with the aftermath. Going after Thanos, trying to pick up the pieces of their lives, just surviving. There's a lot of characters doing a lot of different things in this film. Which that immediately brings me to the first thing that I loved about Avengers Endgame. It is an entirely character-driven movie. While Infinity War was far more focused on Thanos and setting him up as a deeply layered villain, Endgame is entirely centered around the Avengers themselves, and all of them get a chance to shine here. Captain America and Iron Man are at their most interesting in Endgame. The same goes for Hawkeye, Black Widow, even Ant-Man gets some real heavy moments in here, and all of them feel warranted. I'm amazed that a movie can have this big a cast and do such a good job of keeping me emotionally invested in all of them. And speaking of the heavy moments, that's another thing that Avengers Endgame has in spades. Marvel is definitely known for its humor and its light-hearted tones, but I tell you, the places that they go to in this movie get pretty damn dark. I mean, we are seeing our heroes hit their lowest low ever, and the film captures that perfectly. You just feel the misery and the pain and the loss that these characters are going through as they struggle just to get through to the next day. But that's not to say that there isn't any humor in this. I mean, it is a Marvel movie, it's gonna have its fair share of humor, and god damn did I laugh hard at a lot of the jokes in this. There is this one running gag involving a certain member of the Avengers. I won't give anything away, but it had me laughing every single goddamn time the film cut back to it. It was so funny and well scripted. The plot of Endgame does get very complicated, but the way that it's written and directed is so clever, so witty, so ingenious that it's hard not to be impressed. And the action, holy dear god, the action. If you thought the last act of Infinity War was intense, I'm just gonna say this right now.
We ain't seen nothing yet.
This has got to have some of the best, most nerdgasming action I have ever seen in any movie ever. I actually felt like a kid again when I was watching it, and that does not happen that often. It was just so unbelievable to witness. You may think that I'm exaggerating or overhyping this, but I don't care. It genuinely defies description how incredible the action gets in this. But the thing I loved most about Avengers Endgame, the reason I think a lot of other people like it so much as well, is that it absolutely unequivocally delivers on the hype and momentum built up by all the previous Marvel movies that came before this, all the way from Infinity War to Iron Man. All these characters that you've known and loved for 11 years, they all reach their pinnacle in this movie. The action is bigger, more bombastic, and more incredible than it's ever been. Endgame is, if anything, the most comic booky comic book movie I have ever sat through. Some of the shots look like they are taken directly from the pages of a graphic novel, and that is no small feat. It's just so inspiring to see so much love, time, and dedication poured into a franchise like this, and to see it all come to a head in the most incredible and satisfying way. It's just a joy to watch. I'm honestly hard-pressed to find anything wrong with Endgame. I mean, if I were to scrape the bottom of the barrel for nitpicks, I would say that sometimes the film did feel a little bit slow. I mean, it's 3 hours long and a few bits in the middle kinda dragged a bit, but at the same time, you're still watching these characters that you know and love interact. You're still seeing them grow as people, and it's really engaging. So even the slower moments feel warranted. Despite the movie being 3 hours long, I can't think of a thing that they could have taken out. Every character and subplot is woven together so perfectly that taking any of it out would probably compromise the overall structure. And I would also say that if you aren't a Marvel fan, like if you haven't really been in the thick of this franchise and this fandom for an especially long time, you definitely won't get the same emotional impact. You'll still be entertained by all means, but it won't resonate with you as much as the fans that this film was arguably made for. But really, that should kind of come across as obvious before you go into it. Other than that, Avengers Endgame was everything I was hoping it would be and a great deal more. I was worried after seeing Infinity War that this just wouldn't be able to live up to the hype and the weight of expectation, but boy howdy was I wrong. The action is indescribably good, the characters reach their peak here, the plot is thick with emotional weight without shying away from some of the best humor Marvel has to offer. It was beautifully shot, perfectly edited, incredibly well paced for a 3-hour movie. Endgame is pure and simple, an epic climax to one of the biggest franchises of modern day, and I'll be watching it more than a few times before it leaves the cinemas. So guys, have you seen Avengers Endgame yet? What did you think about it? Or what was your favorite moment in the whole film for you? Whatever your thoughts are, leave it in the comments below, hit the like button, subscribe, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.